Decatur Raw, happy birthday. Houston, just wondering if the whole play dead, if we all vote yes on the AMC squeeze, or will it burn us by giving Antera more ownership than retail? Hey, Monkey Butt. I mean, the way I see what Adam Aaron's going to do is, he sold the 300 million apes to these hedge funds. They're going to convert the apes, one ape into one AMC, and then do the 10-to-1 reverse split. So you have your 500 million AMC, you have 800 and whatever million apes, and that will combine to be 1.3 billion or so total AMC shares, and then they do a 10-for-1 reverse, and that becomes 140 million or so shares. 30 million plus of which will be short hedge funds. So 1 in 4-ish shares will be hedge funds. And then, the stock price might be at $50 a share. And then Adam Aaron plans on selling more AMC stock to raise capital to pay off debt, which I get. You want to pay off debt? Cool. The thing is that Adam Aaron has a history of not selling to retail, but selling only specifically to hedge funds. So if he wants to sell $5 billion in stock to pay off his debt, let's whip out the calculator here. Turn you off. Calculator time. Okay. So if he wants to sell $5 billion, right? At, let's say it's $50 a share. He's got to sell 100 million shares, right? That'll go on top of the 30 million that the hedge funds already have. Right? 130 million. That's 130 million out of about 230 million, 230 million shares, 240 million shares. So the hedge funds would have, let's say it's 240 million. Hedge funds would have 54% of the company at that point. And they would be able to control everything the company does. That gives them a majority. And if he sells more than that, if he sells 200 million shares because it sells for $25 a share, then he's going to give them a huge chunk of the company, right? So if they sell 200 million, so it'd be 230 million out of 330 million total shares, right? Then you're at almost 70%. 69. So unless Adam Aaron does at the market sales to retail, he's going to give control to the hedge funds. That's what he's going to do. And they're going to have enough sway now with their 25, 30% of the company to say, hey, we want some board members. We want our people on your board. And that's what they do. They will put their people on the board. And if it's a hedge fund that had a short position before, they're going to destroy the company from the inside because that's what they do. That is the classic short attack, is you get your insiders on their board and then you destroy them from the inside. And I don't hold out much hope that Adam Aaron's going to do those sales to retail. Because he's never done it before. All he does is he finds his little hedge fund buddy. He goes, hey, would you like to buy 200 million shares of my company? And they go, okay. And he dumps it all over them. And then they now have control. So I hope he proves me wrong, but I mean, it's really one of those fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me type situations. He's fooled me too many times at this point. Like, if his goal was to sell 300 million shares of stock to raise a bunch of money, right? So go back to the calculator. If his goal is to sell 300 million shares of stock, why didn't he sell it at $6 and raise 1.8 billion? Instead, he sold most of it at 66 cents. So 300 million at 66 cents, and he raised $198 million. He could have raised 10 times as much money selling 4 months ago than he did last month. So if his goal is truly to pay off as much debt as possible and ruining the chance for like T90 to actually squeeze these hedge funds, why'd he sell for fucking chump change? Right? Oh, Ventura had some of the bonds. They also had a giant short position. So, you just made 300 million shares that now become completely available for borrowing. Yes, they agreed to not sell for 90 days. Whoopty shit. They just lent them all out for 90 days. Right? We saw, like, the week of that sale, 54 million shares suddenly appear of apes available to borrow. And the interest rate went bing, just collapsed on it. All those ape shares will represent AMC shares in, a matter of weeks whenever they put this to the vote. So I'm a little pessimistic about that. My optimism ain't so high when it comes to what Adam Aron may do with that, because he sells to hedge funds. That's what he does. Stop selling to hedge funds. Offer at the market to retail slowly over the course of weeks or months. That's what GME did, and they paid off all their debt. Right? And their stock price was friggin' huge. So why don't you use the example that works if you want to pay off your debt? I don't know. Okay. Just from Dax, when AMC Bigums. AMC Bigums will be on Tuesday next week, in 6 days for our Charity Tuesday show. And I still have not decided on our charity yet. Go to the Reddit, r/Houston Wade. We've got a post there announcing that Bigums is going to be on, and we've got to figure out what charity. Post all your charity options in there. Any ideas you have for charities, and I'll select one. So he's going to come on. He's going to talk to us about what's happening with ISDA and swaps and margin. All sorts of weird things are happening. We'll probably argue a little bit about Adam Aron. I don't know. But for any rate, we're going to raise a bunch of money for charity, and that's going to be a good thing. So we've got that to look forward to.